So we're recording now. Every class that we do is recorded and put on this channel right here. And there are 3 classes that I rotate through that I definitely want all of you to watch. One is Get Started. If you're new to us, you're not quite sure what we can do, or you don't know how to set up your account, that's what the Get Started call is for. The next one is Facebook ads, which we're doing today. And then the other one is over here, Top Tools to Get More Listings. So if you want more listings in your business, you should check that one out, right? So these are the 3 classes that I do. Scott's also doing another one on kind of how to make $250,000 in real estate. It's a really thorough discussion of all marketing that every agent should be doing and where does listings to leads plug in. This is our mastermind group. You can find it. It's not our mastermind group, but it's our YouTube channel. If you go search for listings to leads, you can subscribe here, but I really recommend that you click here and you get this page that says videos, because this is where all the videos are right here. I sent it to everybody. It should be kind of blinking in your GoToMeeting panel, but that's how you get here. Okay. So I was just on a presentation with a guy, so I'm going to kind of show you a couple things here. This is our listing presentation. If you're new to us, you can get that on your listings page right on the top here. There's a button that says create. Now, I recommend everybody gets their arms around that. If you're after more listings, you're going to want to be using that. Okay. So that's our listing presentation. It's super thorough. You should actually print it, GIF, and have it on your desk so you realize like what you have available. This is an open house sign-in page. If you're holding an open house and you got Wi-Fi, it asks for required name and email. We mail them a single property website right away, and you get a lead in your phone and your email. So that's there. This is leadgenwebinars.com. I'm going to send this to everybody right now. This is where you sign up for our 3 classes. So I'm not sure if you've seen this page before. Obviously, you signed up for our classes, this class, but the rest of the classes are right here, and you can check that out. Right. And then let's see, what else do I have open here? Well, that's our homepage. You know that. And oh yeah, I do want to show you the mastermind group. So if you're not in the mastermind group, this is a really important private page. If you're not in it, you can't find it. Okay. So you want to get in it basically. And the easiest way is to go into your account and go to your support page and ask them right here in this box, like, please add me to the mastermind, and they'll help you get it. Okay. So that's kind of like stuff that you're going to need just to be getting your arms around our platform. So let's see, new to L to L, not to Facebook or Google Ads. So Chad, you have run both Facebook and Google Ads. So I will say one thing, there are a lot of great companies there, especially like CRM companies. I'm not going to name them, but there's some of the most popular ones right now that will run ads for you, right? They'll run ads for you on either Facebook or Google, but they usually take about 30% of your money. Okay. So they say, yeah, if you want to add $150 and they keep 50, right? That's a normal model that's out there right now. That's not our model. When you run an ad in our system, you see the budget, and that budget goes 100% charged on your card on either Google or Facebook. So I'm on our ads page right now, and I wanted to be here to show you this. This is an office account that I set up. Now, you guys, well, one of you is from an office, but many of you probably have single agent accounts. But this one is an unusual one. They actually are a expansion team from Keller Williams, and I think I launched it at the end of October, and now it's the middle of December. And you can see that in just that few amount of days or months, they generated 2,600 leads. Now they have a big team, right? An expansion team is like, they have agents in both North and South Carolina. So they've got a budget. They've spent nearly $7,000. You can see it right here. Right? Bet you these are buyer leads. There's seller leads. I think they're focused on getting buyer. And I just want you to know, like, that is, you could do that kind of stuff. For agents, I don't think they're going to be spending $7,000 in 3 months. But if you want to have a bunch of buyers, well, certainly that's an avenue that you can take. When you come to this page the first time, it's going to ask you to connect to Facebook, and there's going to be another button that says connect to Google. So you'll want, to do that. Now, I'm going to walk us through the kinds of things we can do right now and talk about what you can do. But let's just kind of go into Facebook and let's look real quickly. You can create a listing ad, and that might be a listing that is just listed, open house, pending, sold. You can do it. If you're doing it at early stages, the call to actions are to get buyer leads. If you're doing it in later stages, like sold, well, the call to action is to get seller leads. Okay. And we'll talk about that. We'll look at those in a moment. You can run landing page ads. And one of the more popular landing pages is like, what is your home worth? Don't really recommend that unless you know how to do it correctly, but it is a popular one. But there are all kinds of landing pages. You have unlimited landing pages in the system. And then there's PDF guides. We have 80 PDF guides for each of you. You are branded on every page of every PDF guide. 40 are for home buyers. 40 are for home sellers. So you can kind of make the decision of what you want to do. You want to talk more buyers or more sellers. Over here, we have Google. And right now you can run a listing ad, which is a little bit weird to me, but you can run a landing page ad, which is a slam dunk. Everybody should be doing this. Okay. Then there's a custom ad. I don't really know what that is yet. So I'm not going to talk about that. We are going to add the ability to run PDF guide ads, but we'll get into that. So you can run ads on both platforms. With Facebook, if you have your Instagram account connected, it will run the ad on both your Facebook and Instagram page. Okay. So before we get into the nuts and bolts and look at these things, I want you to understand the first difference, the difference of Facebook and Google. Okay. So I got to stop this ad block. I have a little thing plugged in my browser here that stops all the ads. And that's important because when you go to Facebook, there's all kinds of ads that if I'm blocking them, you can't see. So anyway, it looks like it's still blocking. See if we can refresh. Yeah. Okay. So here we go. So when you come to Facebook, people, you see this center thing here. It's what they call the news feed. And the first thing you see is whatever your friends are talking about, right? My goofy friend Anton's always got something ridiculous on his page. But the second thing you see is always an ad. This is from Zoom, right? The Zoom platform. So they're targeting people. I don't know how they're targeting. I'm going to show you how you target in our system, but that's what it is. Maybe they have a national ad. Who knows, right? Then you keep scrolling and, you got your friends, what they're eating and their vacations. And then boom, there's another ad, Wall Street Journal, right? That's what is going on here, right? Oh, that's my post. Yeah. You just scroll, you're looking at what your friends have been doing. Here's somebody selling cheap perfume. Cool, right? When you're running an ad on Facebook, like a listing ad, let's just do this one, just listed. Leave it on lead ads. I'll tell you what that is in a minute. Create an ad. So this is assuming you've got your Facebook business page connected. You're clicking this and it pre-writes the ad. Okay. It's ready. All you got to do is click publish. Now, if you've ever written an ad in Facebook, you might know that it takes 3 or 4 pages and probably 10 or 12 little boxes you got to check to make sure that ad is successful. Okay. Well, we actually have Facebook software and it's embedded on this page. And we told our coders, our software team, if they click on this kind of thing, this is what they're trying to get. So we have checked all the boxes for you. So all you got to do is choose your property and click publish. And when this ad hits, going to be out here looking like this ad, but you see this link, you see this little deal that says shop now on this ad. Yours is going to say learn more. And when they click it, this little window pops up over here on the right. And let's see, this is a little chat thing here. You see this little chat window? So it says, would you like more information? This is some goofy joke my friend said, but it'll have name, phone number, and email pre-populated from their profile. Okay. So we all need our name, email, and phone number in our profile because if we get kicked out, that's the only way we're getting back in. Right. And sometimes that happens. They force you out so that you verify who you are. So the likelihood that those numbers are accurate is really high. Our clients have told us, 75, 80 to 85% of those numbers are real. And so when you're running an ad like this, it's a great way to get phone numbers. Now, this is a home that is just listed. So it's designed to get buyer lead. Okay. When we run an ad, let's go back and we run an ad on a listing for something that is sold, like this one. We click create an ad. The ad is again pre-written, but it's telling them it's affected their home value. So if you like to get more listings, marketing your home when it's sold is a smart thing to do. Okay. We're going to talk a little bit about how to get listings here. But anyway, that's how you run an ad. And when you run that ad on Facebook, it's going to show up right here. Okay. Now, I want to talk about Facebook versus Google first. Okay. So on Facebook, I think it's 70% of American adults, not kids, scroll through this thing on their phone or on their computer for 40 minutes every day. Okay. And they're looking at what their friends are going on vacation, what they're doing fun, all the fun, crazy stuff that people like to share, the food that they're cooking or eating, whatever. Right. So people are looking at this 40 minutes every day. And when they do, they see sponsored ads. Right. So that's where our system, and that's where Facebook ads is powerful. It's where people are hanging out, right? So instead of us looking at this museum ad, we might be seeing your home that's for sale or the home that you sold or stuff like that, right? But let me tell you something. When somebody has a question about anything, they don't go to Facebook and start asking. I mean, occasionally you see that kind of, wacky brand that's going to do that. But there's a trending search on Google right now, and it is related to this question. How do I sell my house? Okay. Like there are a number of keywords, there are a number of searches that are happening right now in this market with these rates and all this price fluctuation. There are people, this is a trending search rate. Okay. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but these top things have the word ad in front of it. This is a paid ad. So what I want you to know about Google is that 86% of all searches on the internet, 86% of all questions asked on the internet happen on Google. Okay. So that's important for you to know. If you haven't run an ad on Google and you know that people are not on Facebook saying, hey, how do I sell my home, friends? No, they go to Google asking, how do I sell my house? And there's all kinds of great companies that and love. There's Zillow, there's Open Door, right? I'm sure realtor.com is down here somewhere, HomeLight, Rocket Mortgage, right? There's realtor.com, right? And there are some ads up here. So if you run an ad with the kind of the keywords that you think are relevant, and you say, hey, I want everybody in this city who writes that question to see my ad. Well, now you're in a good spot, right? And you do that by going to our ads place, you connect your Google account, and maybe you run a landing page ad like, well, he doesn't have one for this. Let's just do this. New construction. He's clearly focused on buyers. He should have a landing page for home values. And I'll show you where to create that landing page. But then it looks like this, right? and you can type in the location, any location you want, and you would have a corresponding landing page. Now he doesn't have that created. I think we've got a new construction one, but this is one that comes with your account, and you would have a landing page saying, "Hey, what is your, Lafayette home worth?" If you're running an ad. So does that make sense? What we're doing here in terms of running a landing page ad for Google? Because I want to make it very clear. This is where people are going when they want to sell their house. Okay. They're not going to Facebook and asking their friends like, "Hey, how did you sell your house?" They're doing their research right here. So if you're running an ad on Google in your area, you're likely going to be able to take advantage of that incredible website and capture leads from it. Okay. So Dathan, I'm glad you're grasping what's going on. So that's right now for me, for Google, that's like the thing to be doing. Okay. Like if you want more listings, you should be running this ad consistently as long as you're in real estate, because that is where people go to find out information about that. They go to Facebook to see what their friends are eating, right? But you can still capture a lot of leads from that. And that's why there are ads all over the place. So let's go back and let's talk a little bit more about Facebook here. And let's talk about running a PDF guide ad. I mentioned it earlier. You can run, there are 80 PDF guide ads here. Okay. 40 for buyers and 40 for sellers. So you can decide, do you want to talk to more buyers or sellers, right? That's your thing. So here's 5 dangers of overpricing. You hover over it. It says create an ad, click create an ad. Use lead ads so we get those pre-populated name, email, and phone numbers. Okay. And when you do that, the ad is pre-written, but you do have to take an extra step. This time, you got to type in the name of the town where you want this to show up. Okay. And do that. And you can also expand the radius if you want. We put a $50 budget when you're running an ad to get seller leads. Okay. Now, this is really important about Facebook. Facebook charges, this is all for both Facebook and Google. This is called pay per click advertising. PPC for short, paid per click. So if I got a $50 ad running for 7 days, every time somebody clicks my ad and gives me their contact information, I get a lead, and Facebook chews off some of the money out of that $50. If you're running any of the 40 PDF guide ads for homeowners, seller leads, Facebook typically charges you $10 a lead. So you can imagine every time you get a lead, your thing goes down by $10, right? Now you might get you might get 5 leads and be run out of money in 2 days, right? You might not. You might get 1 lead or 2 leads and there's still $30 left on the table at 7 days. This is kind of how it works, but you cannot spend more than $50. Okay. That's what's going to happen with this app. But there are a lot of our clients, and right now, because the market's kind of freaked out with mortgage rates and all that, it seems like the ads are not working as fast as they used to, right? Like in the past, what I mean is if you ran an ad I'm just thinking, so give me a moment. If you ran an ad for a home for sale and you put on $35, which is our normal budget for a home that's for sale, well, those leads, because they're for buyers, they're like $2 a lead. Okay. And so you might end up with like 20 leads in like 3 days. And then your ad doesn't really show up because the money's all gone. Facebook will send you a message and say, "Hey, you want to kick in more money or out of money?" That means you got a bunch of leads and you ran out. But right now, with the way that people are kind of sitting on the fence, I'm not hearing that too often. But let's just go back, because we're in an actual live account. I do want to point out that this guy's generated 2,600 leads in these past couple months with the current market. So it definitely still works. He's running these all from Facebook. I think primarily, well, let's click on Google ads here. Yeah, he doesn't have any Google ads running. He's been running all these on Facebook. We actually show you here, this is cost per lead, 243, right? You can see the cost per lead here, $5.50, right? And sometimes it's working. Sometimes, oh, it looks like these are new ads. Yeah, these are new ads. If we click back here on page 6, you can actually, we're going to tell you, give it a second. Okay, it's thinking. So while it's kind of doing its thing, I will tell you this. If you are part of an office account, each agent can log in and run ads on their listings. They can even borrow listings. So if you're a single agent and you don't have your own listing, you can use the grab active listing button on listing and you can grab it and pull it in, right? And then you can run an ad on it, just like I'm showing you here. If you're in an office account and if you want a team account, you always got to reach out to me. I'm Vince at Listings to Lead. Well, then the office can also run ads and they can either drive the leads to the office or to the agent. Okay. So that's an option for office account. But here you can see, like, this is a just listed ad. He's getting leads at 62 cents a lead. All right. $2.09 a lead, $5 a lead, $2 a lead, $1.27 a lead. Over here, I don't know why, $7.69 per lead. But you can see it's like 54 leads, 50 leads, 3 leads, right? Like you can see what's going on in your account right inside your account. So you should sort of measure that, right? One thing I want to point out, if you see an eyeball and it says reach, that's how many people saw it. So if they're on here, right? Like right now, I'm looking at this ad for whatever Temu stuff. This has now reached me. It's like, it's going to be in their metric. So when somebody's looking at it, you can tell, and this is actually important if you're marketing a home and you want to talk to the owner about maybe dropping the price. Because if you say, hey, you know what? I ran 3 ads, 7,000 people have seen this, like over here, and I only got 2 inquiries. Maybe we need to adjust this a little bit, right? You can have that conversation. A lot of clients love that, to have that in their, understanding of what's happening with their ads. So we talked about running a PDF guide ad. I mentioned that it can be $10 for sellers. Let's do this one, a landing page ad. And the most important landing page is free home values, right? Now, I'm going to talk about this because we're going to kind of go in depth here, because this often doesn't work very well. And there's a couple reasons why. First of all, if you notice, it says, what is your home worth now? Reason sales affected this, blah, 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 right? This is too generic. Okay. You don't know what you're getting. Well, you might kind of believe it in this case, because it's sponsored by Keller Williams and they probably have a brand. So you're going to feel comfortable. But if it's you as an agent and you're just getting into Facebook and you don't run a lot of ads and you try to pull off something generic, it's just not going to work. Okay. So you would want to go to your landing page section over here and click create a landing page and then do a property valuation plus. You can see you can create all kinds of landing pages for FSBOs, for buyers. You can make your own custom landing page for buyers or for sellers. But just by going to property valuation plus and typing in the name of your favorite city and click create a landing page, that's how you create a landing page. And then once you've created it, you drive people to it. Now let's go look over here, because he's got one, and this is the live client's account. So I don't want to be messing around with this. But when you create the landing page, we drop you on this edit section. And as you can see, there's this generic photo of a suburban neighborhood that Scott and I bought probably 10 years ago. Now, this is cool. Generic works, but you know what? Generic is not great if you're trying to ask people for their address and their contact information. They don't feel comfortable giving that away, right? So unless you're an agent who's running 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, 10 ads every week on Facebook, they don't know who you are, right? If you're running 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 ads on Facebook every week, everybody in your area knows who you are. And that's actually a smart thing to do, but I'm not going to tell you to do that right now. But that is a smart thing to do. Our clients who do that volume of leads start getting phone calls just out of the blue because everybody knows you're a realtor. Great place for branding is Facebook. Cheap branding, frankly, and lead capture. Now, when we drop you on this editor page, we drop you on this little section over here on the left that says upload an image for the background. So if you're going to create a landing page, you want to make sure that you're using something that lets people know that you know their area. Okay. Now, I mentioned earlier, I set up the office accounts around the country, right? And the team accounts. And I signed Coldwell Banker in Summit, New Jersey, many, many years ago. And when I did their rollout call, we talked about how to use the system. They quickly went out and started creating these home valuation landing pages. And then the owner called me, the manager called me a month later and said, hey, we're getting all kinds of leads. This is awesome. But it's so crazy that the number one landing page for home values is the one with Summit Diner in the background, right? You see the diner here, right? It's kind of like a converted railroad car kind of deal, right? It's on Main Street. This town only has like 22,000 people. And this thing has been sitting there, which looks like at least 50 something years, right? Like, look at that thing. This is where you go get your old greasy potatoes and all that, right? So if you don't know somebody and you're asking them for their address and their phone number and email and all that, they don't know who you are. They don't trust you. They don't know who you are. But if you can say, yeah, I know your neighborhood. If you know Summit, New Jersey, you know Summit Diner or vice versa, right? That's what I want to impress on you. If you create a home valuation landing page, get a photograph that's 2,000 pixels wide and upload it right here, right? It could be anything. It could be a high school sign. It could be a bridge. It could be a building. It should not be the new McMansion in your neighborhood. Okay. I know people like to put luxury homes on the back of this thing. That doesn't instill confidence. Okay. A landmark that everybody knows in your neighborhood is what does and gets great results. So once you've created the landing page, which you can do unlimited landing pages in your account, and you should have a landing page for every one of your neighborhoods or farm markets. Well, then you go over here to ads and you go run an ad on that, right? That's pretty good. That's kind of how you do that. I'm going to stop here because he's got something here. Let's just look at it real quickly. It's got a guaranteed offer. Oh no, this is just something that we created. So it's not, you should customize that. You can customize it. So he was kind of getting there, but he didn't customize it. So if we go back to ads, I want to kind of wrap this up on the seller side, because we're talking about a home valuation ad. I want you to understand that Facebook sets these prices I mentioned earlier. If you run an ad on a home that's sold, those leads often cost $6 to $7 per lead. Okay. So every time you run an ad that's trying to get seller leads, we always put $50 there. You should probably leave it like that until you get good at running ads and you know what's going on. And then when you realize like, yeah, you know what, I'm getting good seller leads, I'm going to increase the budget, but just start off with the default, which is $50. If you're running an ad for a sold property, those leads will cost $6 to $7. If you're running an ad on any of the 40 PDF guide ads for homeowners, those leads, as I mentioned, cost about $10. If you're running an ad on a home valuation landing page, like what is your home worth? Those leads often cost $12 to $15. Same $50 ad is going to get a different volume of leads, right? Because you just do the division into 50 and it starts to work out. I'm going to do a listing ad though on property that's not just listed and not sold. Let's look in here. Let's see what we got here. Under contract. Yeah. So I don't know how Facebook sets the price. I don't know if they actually have a human looking at it or if there's some kind of software looking at it. But we've had clients come into our account or into the mastermind group and say, I'm running ads on properties that are under contract. And if you can see the language here, it's telling you it's going to affect your home value and get a free home value, right? So what's going on here is Facebook doesn't know how to price this. So our client was coming in the summer and saying, I'm getting home valuation leads with name, email, and phone number for $2.38 each. Now, this is in contrast to a $15 lead for a home valuation ad. Does that make sense? That you can run a $50 ad, but your lead is going to be priced differently. And if you're thinking about getting more listings, I recommend that you test out this under contract thing. Now, one thing I didn't mention is when you click in here, you can customize this, right? You might say, we got 8 offers or whatever, right? 7 buyers still looking, right? You used to be able to say this a year ago, but today that number is probably kind of right. But you can customize it there before you run the ad, and that's good to do. I want to kind of remind you, because I'm talking about a lot of things and I forget to finish my statements. When we're running a home valuation ad, I did mention that you've got to tighten it up. It's got to be about a town or a neighborhood or a development, right? So what's the problem here? My mouse or something is so weird. Sorry, give me a second. I'm trying to get this thing to do its thing. Restart. Oh, there it is. Okay, so there it is. So this is a home valuation ad. It's got to be about a town. Like let's type in Lafayette, right? All right, Lafayette, California. Now my page would actually have a picture from Lafayette, so you would know that I know the area. This language here should be talking about Lafayette, and you might want to say, 30 homes sold in Lafayette this year or this month or whatever, and the medians here. That affects your, like you can add that kind of text there. Okay. But this kind of ad for home valuation for a lot of our clients does not work at all. Okay. And that's because you cannot target. So let me explain to you the problem of running an ad like this. You see this 15-mile radius? This is a rule that was slapped down on Facebook from HUD, right? And they said, look, you can't target that type. Had we been talking 5 years ago, you could say, you know what? I want to target homeowners that live in that zip code or in that town. Okay. And that was crazy powerful. That was really awesome, but you can't do that anymore. And so let me show you a map of Lafayette. And this might not be relevant for all of you because you might be living in more rural country areas, and that kind of ad can work. But in the area where I live, this little white section in the middle is Lafayette, and all of these other towns is the 15-mile radius around here. So if I run this ad talking about Lafayette, all these people all over the place are going to see it. And that's why the ad typically does not work very well. Okay. Now, I don't know if you remember, I'm sure a few of you got on late. I was talking about our super cool YouTube channel earlier on. And I want to point out that if you go look back about 4 months ago, and there's a more recent one, but I know 4 months ago, I talked a couple of times about the best way to get listings from Facebook and the new strategy to get high quality listing leads from Facebook. Okay. This tells you that, and you should actually watch it if you want to get listing leads from Facebook. And I recommend doing that actually, because if you get Facebook down and you understand how to use it, it's a fast, cheap, and easy way to get listings. But go watch that call. And what it's going to tell you is you can actually create a custom audience of homeowners. You can go buy a list of custom of people. Now, you would buy that list from companies like Remind, maybe HomeSnap, I can't remember. There are a number of companies that'll sell you, here's everybody that owns a home in Lafayette. And then you create an ad that allows you to target this group. Now here, you've got display to past buyers and display to past leads, right? All leads. I actually recommend that kind of thing, right? But I would really recommend that you have a custom audience of whatever town that you want, because then you target those people because you bought that list somewhere else. And if those people are on Facebook, they're going to see this ad. And that means you don't have to do a 15-mile radius thing here, right? So now that ad becomes very powerful. All right. The details on that, I go in a little more detail on these 2 calls, which I guess is now 5 months ago. Time is flying. So does everybody understand what I've been talking about here? We've talked about Facebook, how to create ads. We talked about the cost of seller leads, whether it's marketing a home that's sold or under contract, or a home valuation ad, or a PDF guide ad. We also talked about the ability to run ads on Google and why Google might actually be a better ad, especially if you want home value leads. So are there any questions about what I've talked about? I recommend you put it in the chat panel. I'm going to tell you one more thing. And that is, like, right now it's December 15th. And so many of your competitors started to take a nap right after they had that Thanksgiving turkey about 2-3 weeks ago. And they're going to be in a nap mode until maybe spring, right? But definitely in December, everybody wants to take a vacation. And you know what happens? The cost of leads drops on the internet because so much of this is auction based. If you have a lot of competitors on Facebook running ads, your ads are going to cost more, right? That kind of makes sense. Well, I can tell you right now in December, your competition, meaning other realtors like you, they're all shopping. They're eating mashed potatoes. They're watching football. God knows what they're doing, but they're not running ads. And I know that in the past, people have come in the mastermind group and said, hey, we are getting leads on Facebook at 10 cents on the dollar. Like the prices dropped 90% or 50%, right? Here's a great question. Does anyone have specific days of running weeks to run their ads? Great question. I hope Amy is on this call, but let me tell you something. Let me answer that question. Well, I didn't mention it because it's like minutia and you're probably flooded with information, but when you run any ad, we'll get there, my mouse or whatever. There we go. When you run any ad, there's always this thing of lifetime budget. I recommend you leave it there. There's also daily budget. So if I change it to daily budget, what does that mean? It means so it's a $50 ad, and let's just make this a 5-day ad so that we can kind of do math easy. I'm not great at math. So it's a 5-day ad. It's $50 ad. This is telling Facebook, put $10 every day on the ad, right? And then there are agents like you that are wondering, like, what's the best day? What day should I do that? Now, I could tell you what I know anecdotally, right? Because I've been helping agents run ads on Facebook for as long as Facebook has had an ad platform. Okay. Like that long. But those things, what's good and what's bad and when people are on, it's probably moving. It's probably changing. But when you leave it on lifetime budget, this tells Facebook to use their algorithms and to use their system to drop your $50 at the best time when the most traffic is there. So really, the answer to her question is, you think just run the ad and leave it on default and let Facebook figure out the best day of the week to run the ad. I hope that makes sense to you. So I asked everybody for questions. It's a good time for questions. Are there any issues when using another agent's broker listing? You mentioned, yeah. There may be issues, Chad, but those are local rules. So each of you are in your own office. You might have office rules. You are probably in different MLSs. There's a bunch of different people. Those MLSs have different rules. I unfortunately do not know the rules of each MLS in the United States, but you should probably know those rules. And then once you know those rules, you can go over to your listings page, click this green button and click grab a listing. And that's going to allow you with just the zip code and MLS number to pull that in. Okay. That's how that works. So are there any other questions? Well, in case it wasn't clear, December is a great time to run ads if you like cheap leads. I will also say this. A lot of people call me and ask, what should my budget be? Right? What should I do with Facebook? Now, and I'll give you the answer that I would tell any rookie agent, okay, like brand new agent. One, you don't have a lot of money. And two, you don't have any brand, right? So I would recommend that you're running, and we go to the ads here. We just added Google. So I'm going to tell you how I've answered it. And then I'm going to scratch my head and think about what I would say with Google. Because when I answered this, we just added Google ads 2 to 3 months ago. So I never really, I rarely talk about it. I would tell an agent to run 2 ads a week on Facebook. One on any listing at any status, early stage, later stage. Okay. Run 1 a week. And then either run a landing page ad or a PDF guide ad every week. And you kind of split your money, $25 an ad, right? So that's 2 ads every week at $25. That's $50 a week. There's usually 4 weeks every month. So it's about a $200 ad budget. Okay. That's if you're straight up rookie, like you don't have any business, you don't have any brand, and you don't have a big budget. If you are in the business for a while and you're kind of one of those agents that deals with 1 listing a month, you might want to up that budget to like $300 or $400. Same volume of ads kind of thing. If you're an agent with 5 to 10 listings a month, like you're managing 5 to 10 listings, well, you probably already know this, but you're going to want to have like 3 or 4 ads running all the time, right? Like, hey, I got my listing is open house. My listing is just listed. My listing is under contract. It's sold. And then run some PDF guide ads, right? When you do that, you actually get to this place where people cannot avoid you. Every time they go on Facebook, you are there. And our clients love that because then they just start calling them, right? You remember when I told you that the biggest searches right now are on how to sell my home and they happen on Google? This tells me 2 things. One, people want to sell their home. And 2, they don't know any realtors. Because if they knew realtors, they would know who to call to ask that question. So building a brand on Google to me is really expensive. Building a brand on Facebook is really cheap and easy. Okay. I hope that makes some sense to you. I would be building my brand, capturing low cost leads on Facebook, and I would be running a couple of ads every week for as long as you want to be in real estate. Okay. That's the simplest way to think of it. If you want high quality listing leads, you need to have a Google strategy. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, frankly. You need to have a Google strategy. But if you want more listings, this is where people go find out questions about how to sell their home. So you should be taking advantage of our home valuation landing page and creating an ad on Google. And this guy, he's focused on getting buyers for all of his agents, so he doesn't create them. That's what you should do. So I hope that is clear for you. That's a boiled down version. No TikTok integration. TikTok is a video based platform. That's not really the point of this call. We do allow, if you go to the list, let's just go over here real quickly. If you go to any listing, well, this guy is borrowing listing, so we wouldn't have it here. Let's see. I don't think we do. We click. Yeah, there is short form video script. So this is a script that you can download and you can upload. You can download it, read it a few times, whip out your fancy smartphone and shoot a video and then upload it to TikTok, right? That's what we've got. And you can upload it to Instagram. You can upload it to YouTube and to Facebook. They all, they give you that ability to use video. And actually, I highly recommend that you get into video. I know it's funny as we're talking about Facebook and Google. There's a large percentage of realtors who are not comfortable being on Facebook. They don't like the whole concept of sharing all this nonsense that people do. But obviously, 70% of adults are totally comfortable with that. So there's even a smaller percentage of realtors that are comfortable making a video, right? I mean, it's just not in our wheelhouse. It's not our forte. We don't know what in the world is going on. That's why we've written these scripts. That's why if you download it here and you read it a few times, you can then just say, okay, here it is. And now I'm going to boom, send it to TikTok, send it here and there. Right. So that's kind of what I have there for. Yeah. I would imagine next year we're going to have more there on TikTok, but that's what we have right now. I think right now our focus is to make the Google more powerful so that you guys can get more leads from Google. All right. Any other questions? I don't see any. So I want to thank everybody for joining me here. I want to remind you that if you are taking a break in the holidays, get on this page here. Go see our system. Go learn everything you can about it. I've had clients. I mean, this thing will help you grow your business, right? If you wanted just to do some automated colorful ad stuff or auto posting, you can turn on the automation and forget about it. But if you want to grow your business, like double or triple your business, this thing can help you do it. You do need to understand what you need to, how to use it. And we cover that over and over here on this page. So definitely get into our YouTube channel. Well, Dakin, thanks. I'm glad this is for you. I hope everybody found some value on this time. Enjoy the holidays. Keep safe out there and get in our mastermind group and let us know how we can help you. I don't know if I mentioned that we have a really fantastic support team down here. Put your question here. You can call them if you want. They always are super helpful. If you need a team account or if you need an office account, it's always, it's discounted off of our agent pricing. I think if you go up here to offices, you'll see my contact information somewhere. And you can schedule a demo with me if you have questions, but there's my contact info. If you need a team or office account, you can do that right there. Okay. Thanks everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope this has helped you. Have a great holiday season. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Oh, I might have a question here. Okay. Oh, good, Sue. Good. Good luck with everything. Get in our mastermind group. We want to know how it's working out for you. All right. Bye, everybody.